Hi everyone, Christine here at ChristinesCraftTable, coming to you with Vlogust episode 2, and today is the 3rd of August. Just with a quick update on my progress on the Cats Meow make along or crochet along with Jan the Alaskan Crafter and Laura at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. And I just have a couple of tips because a lot of people have been struggling a little bit with this pattern. So I thought I'd share what I'm doing. I'm going mainly by the written instructions. They kind of look like this, just row by row. And next to each row, I jot down when I've confirmed that my stitch count equals what she's got for that row. And that has helped me stay on track. So after I jot that down, like I said before, I go and I count the whole row to make sure it equals my 110 stitches. Also, so here's my progress. Today I am on row 12, and this is the front. So that's what we have so far. And two things. One, I put a stitch marker on the front side, just so I always know what my front side is. That way when I'm looking at the graph, and I know I'm looking at the front side of the graph, I can easily tell if I'm on target. Okay, and then I also put a stitch marker. If you notice on the graph, there's this one color change that is always a straight line, and that goes all the way up the pattern, just to make it easy for me when I get to that color change. I put a stitch marker on this as well, on this spot, so that I know whenever I get, and I'll probably just move it up so I can see it clearly. Whenever I get to this point, I always want my colors to change at the same point to give me that straight line. So just a couple of tips to keep me on track. And yeah, I think that's it. I shared everything else the last time. I have also started measuring it every few rows to make sure that the top of the blanket is the same as the bottom, because some people say that their blanket is going like this, and so I make sure that's not the case. I think the foundation row again really helped on this. I give it a little tug and it stretches right out to be even with the top of the blanket. So one other thing I am doing that Laura recommended at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming is I'm using my little pencil to color in the rows as I do them. Mainly I'm only using the graph to keep track of the transitions, like if I'm supposed to, you know, be out one square further on the next line, then I just make sure that that's what mine looks like. Because as some people have mentioned, this graph is kind of hard to read. It's very tiny. So that's really the only thing I'm using it for, to make sure those transitions look like they should. I'm also using a ruler to do my coloring in, because again, those lines or those rows are very tiny, so that just keeps me from coloring in too much or coloring in the wrong row. I also, since yesterday, mapped out what my colors are going to look like, my pinks. So I went through and kind of calculated how many rows I'm going to do of each color and compared that to the yardage that I have available, and hopefully I will fall somewhere near these numbers to where I don't run out of yarn on any particular color from where I plan to use it. It's kind of a moving scale, and I'm flexible with it. I know I have enough pink. It's just the spacing and how many rows I do with each one that could vary. But I'm at the point where I'm really enjoying this blanket. I'm having fun with it. This stitch is actually works up very quickly once you get going on it. It's nice and squishy and very pretty. So I am looking forward to this. I'm actually getting so excited about this blanket. I'm already thinking about doing a second one in a DK weight. I have my favorite yarn, which is what I made my poncho out of, that I wear all the time. And I love that yarn. And so I thought, wow, that would make a really nice blanket for Boggy Creek as well. So we'll see. I'll see how quickly I can get through this blanket, or if it takes me forever, I may not do another one just because there's other patterns that work up a lot quicker and are just as pretty. This is a little more detailed than I'm used to. So, but a good challenge and a good learning experience. This is my first blanket with a graph, and yeah, so. And before I wrap up today, I wanted to share a package that just came in today's mail from Joanne at 2 Crochet Curious. I was watching a live of hers recently, and she had a surprise giveaway. So, oh, very pretty. Let's see what I got. Says thanks. Hi Christine, thank you for joining my live. Enjoy the wool. If you make the tote, let me know how it turns out. Joanne. So this was a kit, or part of a kit, and I think she said she used some of the yarn, but not all of it. Oh, isn't that cute? It's called Sapphire Sky Totes. It's a crochet pattern. Got a little munch there. Interesting shape. And this is the yarn. Isn't that pretty? Willow Daily Worsted Weight 100% superwash wool. 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 218 yards per ball. And the color is sea glass. And I got 1, 2, and maybe about 1/4 of a skein there. And the color turquoise. Same yarn. That looks like a full skein. And then a partial skein. Maybe about 1/4 again. So we'll see if I have enough to make the tote. I will give it a shot. I'm getting more courage with written patterns. So yeah, I'll let you see if I make it. Thanks, Joanne, so much for the prize, and I will enjoy the yarn. 100% superwash wool, but it is nice and soft, squishy. Yeah, if I don't do a tote, I will do a basket for sure. Thanks again. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.